And there's a generation of young people who are sitting, some of them sitting in this audience, who are moving away from, the lies of Mandela to say, actually, we want the land. You know, Ms. Chava, I'm sitting as a black, poor, dispossessed woman in this country and having to listen to Monique saying she's not guilty. But I'm living under white supremacy right now. And we step away of the violence of white supremacy because we talk about the township, we talk about poverty and things that are it's just irrelevant. That lady's story is so powerful because it's the story of my mother, it's my story, it's the story of every black person in this room who has been dispossessed, who lives under violence every day in this country. So I'm sorry, Sarah. I don't want you to live in ways that you want to give back the land, because I want to take back the land, because for me, psychologically, it's very important that I take back the land. You don't give it back to me because it was taken back forcefully under colonialism. So I want to decolonize this country. And maybe if it means that an army of black people in this country take arms in order to do that, then maybe it needs to happen. But I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you today.
Hello fam, how are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate. Thank you so much for 3,000 subscribers and above. We are now road to 4,000 subscribers. So kindly, if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and join this family, And thank you so much for my returning subscribers for always coming back to watch my videos. I do appreciate. Just know that you have a special place in my heart. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button to join this family, and turn on the notification bell, so anytime I upload a video, you'll always be notified that Carol Mike has posted a video. You see that bell after subscribing, the bell, you turn all notifications on. So in this video, the South Africans are trying to fight back for their land. So we are going to watch this video up to the end so that we can know what's going on, Then after that, you're going to come back with more comments. Tell me in the comment section what you think about the video, and let's have a conversation. Yes, so let's watch this video till the end so that we can come back with more comments.
So, Wanelisa, why are you so obsessed with whiteness? Why can't we be preoccupied with being successful in business, in the arts? I mean, like Ferial Haffajee says in her book, what if there were no white people?
I think for me, I'm not obsessed with whiteness. I'm obsessed with black liberation. And I'm obsessed with the rebuilding of black humanity in this country. So to read my obsession with black liberation as an obsession with whiteness, I think is incorrect, because we live in a society that is very dishonest about the kind of power, the kind of brutality that white bodies, even without doing anything, hold. And so for PJ Powers to come and sing a very mediocre song and make money over the years about using Zulu culture and using cultural appropriation is exact kinds of power that white people hold in this space. And there's a generation of young people who are sitting, some of them sitting in this audience, who are moving away from the lies of Mandela to say, actually, we want the land at this point in time.
Woo! Good job. PJ, I'll give you the honor of replying. Yeah.
With regards to Jabulani, in 1982, it was probably before you were born, I went into Soweto with a rock song called You're So Good to Me. It didn't have a black note on it. I think some of the older people may remember it. It was You're So Good to Me. It was a rock song that suddenly charted on the Radio Zulu charts. So if you think that I adapted black culture, that is not the case at all. In fact, the black people put me on their wings, okay, and carried me, and have ever since, It is something I'm incredibly proud and grateful for. And it hurts me to see somebody that I have fought for my entire life, okay, in my own way, in what I can do. I'm not a politician, I'm not a statistician, I can't do any of those things. What I can do is talk out about whinging whites that we have in this country. And I will always have loved and always will love this country. The book that I've written is dedicated to the people of Soweto.
All right. Rebecca, are all white people racist?
100%. How can you be a white South African and not be racist? And I don't mean that in the way of you necessarily consciously think that black people are inferior. I mean that there is just no way that you could have been born into this society without internalizing racist assumptions. But let's not make that the end of the conversation. It's not racist, it's just a fact. Let's not make that the end of the conversation. Let's say, yes, sure, we are all racist, and what are we going to do about it? Let's move on. Let's not make that the final insult.
Monique, do you agree with Rebecca saying 100%?
No,
all white people are
totally
racist?
Disagree with what she's saying. I think that whiteness and white privilege has become this buzzword that you hear all the time. But actually, it's a way to silence anyone that is not of color. What she was basically saying is, if you are a white person, you are racist just because you are white, without any evidence. I am not a racist person. I respect all people. I respect black people, white people, colored people. So I feel it's very offensive to say that all white people are racist. It's just not true. And I think that to make whiteness the enemy is easier to fight than to fight the crippling corruption, to fight unemployment, to fight, to fight the wealth gap, because the political leaders that we have cannot fight that stuff. They don't have the skills to fight that, and then they make race the problem.
Lovelyn?
For me, an ideal South Africa would be a South Africa where we have white maids, white security guards, white people in informal settlements, and then we have more black people in positions, you know, as more black lawyers, more black accountants, more black people living in decent housing, etc.
All right. Ayabonga, who's doing the oppressing?
Look, I think it's a combination of the historically white entrenched and established interests in South Africa, combined with, of course, this new black elite that Utatu Mbeki is talking about. I mean, if you think about BEE, it's all it is just crumbs trickling off the white table in service and in perpetuation and in continuation of the enrichment.
I just want to say something. You know, the most disempowering, destructive and devastating racism is not personal racism. The penny sparrows can spew as much racist filth as they want to. It doesn't kill anyone. You must address the fact that the ANC left intact, virtually untouched. This, when Malema and them speak about white monopoly capital, it's not a myth. It's a devastating reality in the lives of people.
Yeah.
So, you know, the question of the black elite, it's true they're feeding from the crumbs that fall from the table of white monopoly capital, but what you also need to address is that the intra-racial, meaning within the black population, growing class inequalities has now outstripped the interracial inequalities between black and white. This is it. The Anglo-Americans, all of these people dominate this economy. This jobless bloodbath that Bhavi speaks about is a direct consequence of the fact that this economy, where it's a powerful country, we live in the most powerful city in Africa, Johannesburg, and people are living in shacks. That is the most important racism that's linked to to institutional structural issues that I want to hear more about, and I'm not hearing that. I don't want to talk about the penny sparrows. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so Monique, I'd like to bring you here into the conversation. We've heard a poem that absolutely captures white guilt. Do you feel guilty?
I feel that I don't have to apologize because I personally did not take part in apartheid. And in my heart,
So
I
can
feel
we say
sorry.
no?
Yeah, I
You
feel
don't feel
sorry for
guilty?
each and every person that was disadvantaged by apartheid. But you can't say that young people today still have to apologize. We also want to...
I don't think anyone's just asking for an apology. I think that happened with the TRC. So, Wanelisa.
You know, Ms. Chaba, I'm sitting as a black poor, dispossessed woman in this country and having to listen to Monique saying she's not guilty. But I'm living under white supremacy right now. And we skip away of the violence of white supremacy because we talk about the township, we talk about poverty as things that are it's just irrelevant. That lady's story is so powerful because it's the story of my mother, it's my story, it's the story of every black person in this room who has been dispossessed, who lives under violence every day in this country. So I'm sorry, Sarah, I don't want you to live in ways that you want to give back the land, because I want to take back the land, because for me, psychologically, it's very important that I take back the land. You don't give it back to me because it was taken back forcefully under colonialism. So I want to decolonize this country. And maybe if it means that an army of black people in this country take arms in order to do that, then maybe it needs to happen. But I'm tired of these debates. I'm tired of these debates.
Is that progressive or regressive? Do we need to have war for that to happen? I don't think so. What do you think?
When you've taken the land back, make sure you give it to the rightful owners in terms of the truth. Give it to the Khoi and the San people then. Yes! They are the rightful owners. If you want to take back the land, give it to the rightful owners. But you see, the problem is this.
So are you saying that black people are also not the rightful owners of this land?
If the black people are the rightful owners, where did they get the land?
Is that what you're saying?
No. History is much more complicated than that. Much more complicated. And we can go and have a look at that. But it's a myth. It's a myth to just claim that everything belonged to this and nothing belonged to that. It's a myth. If people start talking about war, we are in a very, very dangerous situation. It's very easy to incite violence. You don't know what you're talking about, and I would suggest that we all move away from that.
Wait a second. Hold on a second.
And luckily I know that the majority of people in this country from different communities are not interested in violence. They are not interested in conflict and war. Those are side elements that should not be allowed to destroy the fabric of social cohesion in this country.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Social cohesion.
If you want my land, you can come and take it right now. I've never owned any land anywhere, ever. I'd like to make a proposal, though. Right? In all these debates, a lot of people forget, right, that our government actually owns almost half of all the land in South Africa.
No, that's not true. Don't lie. You're lying. You're lying.
At national and provincial level, it's 24%, and at municipal level, we don't really know, but we estimate about 25%.
All right, let's let him finish.
Also, the government owns a lot of national assets in terms of state-owned enterprises, right? And a lot. It's not only the big guys, right? Why would the government need to own a diamond mine, right? Now, the government could, in very short order, right, make a huge dent in economic inequality. I'm not saying it's going to solve all the problems, right, but make a huge difference, right, by giving that back to the people. Right? It used to belong to the apartheid government, now it belongs to the ANC government. Right? Go along with the Freedom Charter. Say, let the people own these national assets. Right? They did that with Telkom. To an extent.
All right. Okay. Henny, are we destined for war?
I don't think we should wish for war. I think, Masachaba, we speak easily about it, and I understand our frustration, but I think we must, in respecting those who have fought for our freedom and who have fallen, we shouldn't wish this thing back upon us. But equally must, and it is our freedom for all of us and a responsibility to act. And I say equally for white people to act responsibly. And while we talk about the land issue, and it is fundamental, I think equally we have to talk about our economy. We have to say every year about 300 billion rand leaves this country in capital that very wealthy people own, which they move offshore. It's a fundamentally unpatriotic act that happens of undermining the future of this country. It's that which we need to equally hold responsible, to say to those who have money that we are going to look at ways in which that money must be reinvested in the future of all of our people.
Okay, now that I believe that you have watched this video up to this point, what are your thoughts? Do you think that the black South Africans are right, or do you think that they should just leave it like that? if you know South Africa, South Africans are, they have blacks and they also have white people over there. We all know Nelson Mandela, who was their president during those colonization time, the fighting, you know. He was arrested, and he when he was in jail, after coming out of jail, he said that we have to end this, the fight between the whites and the blacks. It has to end. And we all know it was just because of the land. Yeah, we all know, if you are from Africa, mostly probably you know what went on, the fights, the colonization, during the colonization time. So the best thing that he saw that is going to bring peace was to tell the whites to keep the land that they own. If you're a white in South Africa and you own a land, you have a land, just keep it. And this has led to more blacks over there, black South Africans, to lose their lands. Most of them, they don't have land, and the whites are prospering, they're continuing with their things, and these blacks, mostly they are losing their lands, you know. And the racist in South Africa, guys, it's really, really high. Even there's a place where the blacks are not allowed to enter, and you are in your own continent, in your own country. So you can imagine, blacks are not allowed to enter and you are in your country, and such thing can happen to you. So I think that is really, really bad. So this girl is very bold and is trying to tell them, we want our land back, we want it back. Even there's a we have a show here in Kenya by LLN, Lynn Ngugi, LNN, yeah, Lynn Ngugi. So there's this white man who is in Kenya, and he owns more than 100 acres of land. They did not buy the land, they just got the land, and he owns that land. Oh my God. And you can imagine, we have Kenyans who don't have even a quarter a land where they can just build a house and live and stay there, guys. So you can imagine these people, yes, they are our brothers and sisters, but the way they frustrate us with the black skin, sometimes it's really, really bad, and it's really, really sad. So I think the blacks in South Africa, they should just get justice and get their lands back, give their lands back, you know. As this man in Kenya, how did he acquire all those 100 acres? Yeah, I'm so sure those 100 acres, they was for someone else. Where did they end up? You see? But for him, he's still there, they still live there, and they say that this is our property, we owned it during those times. So let's continue praying for brothers and sisters here in Africa, everywhere in Africa, that this spirit will end, you know. This spirit has to end. We are brothers and sisters. And something funny, you can't just go in their countries and own a land like that. No, 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 no. You can't. You really, really can't. Yeah. And maybe if one day you get to own that land, you will it's rented, land leasing, let me say, like just land leasing. One day you have to return it. You don't own it, like yeah, but you see, for them, they own it, they can sell it, they can do anything with it. So justice for black South Africans. Yeah, so that was it for today. Kindly hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed. Give this video a like. Yes, share with your friends, and don't forget to comment down below what you think about the video. So right now it's just a bye. I'm going to see in the next video. Bye.